Alright guys, welcome back to another Master and Apprentice video. We've got a bunch of August sets coming, and we've talked about all of them, but we haven't had a lot of official reviews. But we've got quite a few official reviews for both LEGO Star Wars sets and LEGO Marvel sets, and a couple cool LEGO Fortnite sets on the horizon as well. This is not all of them, so we are missing some. We are still missing a couple sets for the rest of the year, like some October, November, September sets. And so this isn't all of it, but this is a lot of the August stuff, what you can expect and what you might want to start getting ready for. So the first set we're going to talk about is
set number 75434, the K2SO. It's a buildable K2SO, not really too much to say off of there. Really cool droid. It comes in at $89.99 as the price and will be 845 pieces. Yeah, it's not going to be to scale of the C3PO and R2D2. I think I've said that before, but that kind of really surprised me when I first saw the initial piece and price, so it'll be kind of a standalone thing.
the next set we have is supposedly coming out June 1st. It was initially rumored to come out August, so you know this should be coming out next month. Set 75412, the Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack. It's going to be $23 with 119 pieces. So if you guys haven't known, there's going to be a bit of a rise in pricing for all LEGO sets. Not LEGO Star Wars, not LEGO Marvel. Just $1 or $2 or a couple dollars on all of them. You know, if you guys haven't, you know, if you're living underneath a rock and you haven't heard, there's a lot of tariffs and inflation going around, and LEGO is, you know, they have to be part of it, right? They don't manufacture a lot of the LEGO sets in America. Actually, most of them are in like Sweden and in European countries. So because of that, they're having to raise the prices on a couple of these sets. Now, you know, 23 compared to $20 isn't ridiculous. It's not great, but it's not terrible. So it's still a really cool battle pack. The pictures, we know we've kind of talked about this in a different set because this picture did reveal or leak, but it wasn't an official reveal yet. This is their official review, so we can put these glorious pictures out there for you. It looks really nice. I'm super excited for the Night Troopers and Death Troopers. I like the build. It is kind of chunky. It's a thick boy for sure. I know some people don't like it. I think it's nice. It's a battle pack build. You know, you don't expect much from these kind of builds anyways.
The next one we have is number 75411, the Darth Maul mech, coming in at 143 pieces and coming in at $17.99. Not a ton to say here. It looks pretty cool, but nothing crazy cool like the Luke Skywalker mech, just another mech. And next we have Plo Koon's Microfighter Starfighter. It is set number 75400 with 89 pieces, coming in at $14.99. It's a pretty cool build, but then again, it's a microfighter. The actual minifigure looks pretty awesome, though, I will say.
It is a new mold. It, you know, at first glance you can't really tell, but if you compare it one to one, they pull up a picture of the old Plo Koon minifigure, which we have on screen obviously for you right now. I think it's an upgrade. I think it looks a little bit better. I wonder what kind of material, because the old Plo Koon mold was a little bit more rubbery. This doesn't look as rubbery, so we'll see what kind of material it's made out of. The next set we have is set 75428, the Stap. It's going to be another buildable character similar to the Chewbacca, R2D2, Chopper, C3PO. It's going to have 1,088 pieces, so it's one of the bigger ones. This might be more comparable to the Chewbacca, right? The Chewbacca is the biggest out of all of these characters. I believe it was like $140, $160. This is going to be right around that price at $140. So I'm very interested to see how this compares in size and just style to these other ones, because this is probably the most unique one. All the other ones were a lot more thick based. I mean, the droids especially. This one's kind of a little bit more unique. It has a thin base, and just the droid being able to attach and detach from the Stap itself is a really cool idea. I just wonder, you know, how well it's going to be executed. That kind of wraps it up for the LEGO Star Wars sets. We've got quite a few upcoming LEGO Marvel sets. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the rest of these should be coming out August. But there's some really fun, unique ones.
First for the Marvel, we got set number 76321, Marvel Spider-Man versus Doc Ock train fight scene. This will come in at $55, 393 pieces, and as Sammy said, probably be coming out around August 1st. This is a really really cool scene. Everyone loves this scene. This is where Spider-Man like tears his shirt, saving the train from falling off. It's quite the spectacle. It's a beautiful looking set. I mean, the steep-ish price, $55, 393 pieces. It's hard to tell when it's not in your hand, but that does seem kind of steep. And it's only one train car if you were hoping for more. Doc Ock's buildable arms do look pretty awesome as well, so it is pretty exciting.
I don't think anyone was expecting a Spider-Man 2 set in the year 2025, so it's a pretty cool set to get this year. I mean, you know, we'll have to wait and see, but from the pictures, we get Aunt May, J. Jonah Jameson, Doc Ock, and Spider-Man. I wonder if they're going to give us a Spider-Man without the ripped costume. Either way, it's still really cool to get a Spider-Man 2 set this year. The next two sets are sets we didn't really have a lot of details on because they were supposed to be rumored to be the new module sets. And these two sets are module together, but they're not part of the module line per se. These are play sets. Whereas like the Avengers Tower, the X Mansion, the Sanctum Sanctorum, these sets, they're different. Those are like 18 plus line, much different. So starting off with 76317 Peter Parker's apartment for $50, 314 pieces. This is, it's kind of reminiscent of some of the earlier Marvel sets, like during the Infinity War era, when they did like the Sanctum Sanctorum. It had one side was just like the building. You turn it around, and it was all inside of a building. You just play it. This is very similar to that, right? Or even the Into the Spider-Verse set that's out right now, where one side's a storefront, you turn the set around, and the inside, it's not like a building you split in half like some of these other modular sets, right? So it's cool. It's not a set we were really expecting. It's not from a movie or anything. It's just a Spider-Man set. It's not even really from a specific comic, but it's gonna have some pretty cool minifigures with the Anti-Venom. That's a really cool, very niche villain from Spider-Man. Hobgoblin, another really cool, a lot of people know the Green Goblin, but Hobgoblin is not as known as, the Green Goblin for Spider-Man. Mary Jane, and then obviously Spider-Man. Funny enough, there's no Peter Parker. There's a Peter Parker head, but there's no Peter Parker, which is, not the biggest of a deal. It's just kind of strange. And then there's a small build of Peter Parker's apartment. It looks pretty cool. It's not crazy big, but for $50, you're not really paying for something big. The next set that's supposed to be module with this, so it's another kind of street view side of Oscorp Tower, and then it has like another building, like a storefront on the side of it, and then it's a big tower you can see in the middle. It's going to be set 76324, 808 pieces for $140. So this one's a little bit bigger. It's almost twice the size of the other set. It's definitely twice the price. This one's got a lot more to it. Like I said, the build's a lot bigger, but then the minifigure count is pretty much twice the size. So you got Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, Miles Morales, Eddie Brock, Spider-Gwen, Norman Osborn, Kraven the Hunter, and Green Goblin. So no Harry Osborn, which is kind of strange to me, but either way, another really cool set. Again, it's not from like any movie. It's not like Into the Spider-Verse with Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales. It's its own thing. Pretty cool. I like when they used to do this a lot more, especially in the earlier days of Lego Marvel, where they kind of have like these one-offs of like these sets that were modular. Lego in general just doesn't do that very much anymore. So this is a pretty cool thing to get. Again, it's not the module sets for Marvel, right? Like the Sanctum Sanctorum, Avengers Tower. It's not part of that line. It's its own thing. It's module with just one other set, which is Peter Parker's apartment. For $140, it does seem kind of overpriced. The other one you can kind of get behind, but 800 pieces, $140. It almost feels like they priced it up because of the cool minifigures, which, albeit a lot of people are going to buy it because of those cool minifigures. It's just unfortunate they marked it up that much. $100 would have seemed a lot more fair for a set like this.
And then we have set number 76322, Avengers Endgame scene. It comes with 373 pieces, priced at $55. You got a Rocket, you got an Iron Patriot Mark II, you got 4 Chitauri Warriors, and you have Thor. So a pretty good lineup of minifigures, especially if you want a lot of Chitauri. Sometimes they include just 1 or 2 Chitauri Warriors or whoever they're battling a ton of, and I kind of find that mildly annoying. The build is actually pretty cool. Of course, Iron Patriot has his cool mech, as you can probably see right now, and they have that kind of gorilla, Chitauri warrior type thing. It's nothing crazy. The build outside of those two is very small and limited, but it's the battle scene. It's mostly for the minifigures. Again, the price per piece is kind of crazy. It almost feels like it's for the minifigures, but this is coming with the tariff and all the other increases. It's across the board. It's felt.
The next set is set 76320. This set's going to be $23 as well. So it's going to be the same battle pack set. They've been kind of doing this the last 2 years where it's their own version of their battle pack. It's a relatively smaller set with some cool minifigures. No big build or anything like that, right? We had like Iron Man and the Iron Sentries or whatever from Avengers Age of Ultron last year. They gave us another cool one this year from Iron Man 2 with Iron Man and War Machine versus Hammer Drones. Again, they're dropping some nostalgic movies sets this year. Spider-Man 2, Iron Man 2. These are some pretty cool sets. I mean, even the other Spider-Man sets weren't from a particular movie. They're really reaching outside because it feels like the last 3 to 5 years, they've only been going off movies, like recent movies and Endgame. Whereas now they're going back to some of those older movies. They're going back, even a little bit deeper in the well and going just their own ideas from Marvel. So another really cool set. These drones, they look fine. They're brick built. It's not exactly what I think anyone expected. I remember when I was a kid, I played this scene out in Lego because this set didn't exist then, obviously, and I had my own brick built guys like this, and it was actually kind of similar to this in general in style, just like these blocky guys, like these blocky robots. Like it was obvious they were robots, and they look fine. They're a little goofy, a little bit clunky, but I think that's the whole purpose of them. It's just a really cool nostalgic set to get from a nostalgic movie. Then we have set 76325, the Age of Ultron Quinjet. So I don't think it came out last year, but the year before we had a Quinjet that came out from the first Avengers movie. It came out with some characters and minifigures from the first Avengers. That's retiring this year. Now they're bringing out a new Quinjet, very similar in style, similar in price, $130, 1,131 pieces. And it's going to be like the same idea, a nice decent sized Quinjet that's play set size, but you can also put a stand on it underneath that comes with it. Overall looks really cool. The minifigures are pretty cool. We get Hawkeye, Clint Barton, Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, Iron Man, Quicksilver, and then Ultimate Ultron, which is just like the main guy, right? It's not the drones or anything, it's Ultron. So I think it would have been nice to get Wanda, Scarlet Witch. I think she's the obvious missing character from this set, but besides this, I think it looks really cool. I always liked the Age of Ultron Quinjet because the colors were just the most unique in that movie compared to the other movies, and I thought it just looked a little bit sleeker. In general, I think it's a really cool set. I think it's going to be really cool to compare these to the previous Quinjet because they're obviously going to be really similar, but they're going to have some differences. And I think in general it's just cool that they're doing these different eras of Quinjets because it's something that's almost niche because you don't even really notice the Quinjet because it just kind of drops the guys off and then it leaves. It's not really part of it. Whereas like the X-Wing and TIE Fighter are a lot more nostalgic and relevant to Star Wars. The Quinjet isn't, but it's still a really cool thing from Marvel.
And next up we got set number 76316, the Fantastic Four versus Galactus construction figure. It is going to be $60, 427 pieces. And it's pretty cool. There's not a crazy big build to it, nothing too intense. It's just Galactus being built. There's not anything on the side of it. But I think they did the minifigures very well. You can tell that they made like Reed Richards off of his actor, Pedro Pascal, which I don't have a single problem with. I think it's really cool. It looks just like the trailers, what he looks like in the trailers. And the Thing has these cool big hands. And you got some extendable bricks for Mr. Fantastic's legs to go far. It's a lot of play features. It's pretty well known that this is the Fantastic Four's villain. Oftentimes it's going to be in this upcoming Fantastic Four movie based on just the trailers alone, so this is pretty darn cool to get. I also kind of like how they don't include anything extra in here because oftentimes there'll be a minifigure, a whole bunch of minifigures fighting a big bad guy, and they'll include a random scene with a lamppost or a bunch of grass, and I just feel like it's so irrelevant. I know it's you're asking for less Legos what I'm making the argument for, but it just feels like you get exactly what you're looking for with this set.
I'll just want to put it on record. I completely disagree. I think the Thing minifigure looks absolutely horrendous. It's not very often that I get too mad about details, but I think the thing looks terrible. I think they really cheaped out on that one. The Galactus I think looks fine. I gotta say his legs and his waist in general look really goofy. I don't know, it's because, maybe they had a hard time trying to size differentiate. They wanted it to be big, but they couldn't really get it too big. Otherwise, they would have to make it much more expensive. But it looks a little goofy. However you want to excuse it or not, it looks a little goofy to me. It is cool that we finally get some, Fantastic Four set because it's coming out in July. This set is coming out June 1st, by the way. It's $60, so it's something you can get before the movie comes out. So it's a nice little sneak peek into the movie. It's a Lego set. It's not really, but it's a cool thing to get excited for the movie. But that thing minifigure I think is terrible. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, because I've seen a decent amount of people agree and disagree with that, and I think it looks that terrible. Then we have some Lego Fortnite sets. Now the Lego Fortnite line is a new line in general, just announced and released last year. We've got some brand new sets coming out. Most of these are coming out August, so we got a little bit ways still, but some fun sets nonetheless.
First up, we got set number 77075, Peely and Sparkplug's Camp Set, coming in with 250 pieces and $23. I mean, I'm kind of going to compare this again to the Battle Pack, not entirely because it has 3 minifigures and not 4, but it looks like it's just a whole bunch of scenes you can make from the Lego Fortnite game into the Lego set. I mean, you got the wolf, you got a skeleton, those things are bad guys in the game. It's nothing too crazy, but it is like kind of a starting point in the game, so it's really cool to get it in Lego form, considering that's the whole team up between Lego and Fortnite. And then we got set number 77076, Der Burger Restaurant, coming in at 546 pieces, and it will be $65. This is again just a random set from the Fortnite game going over into the Lego form, and it's really cool. We got a Der Burger last year. It was just a Der Burger itself. Now we get the whole front of the restaurant, I should say. The build's not extensive and huge, but you get some characters out of it, and I mean, I think that's one thing I've liked about the Fortnite sets. You're getting some pretty cool minifigures out of it. The Der Burger guy himself, skeletons, a couple other random guys that you're going to come across in the game.
Yeah. Then we have set 77077, 1,084 pieces for $110. The Colombo. Now, this one is for some reason something that's stuck in Fortnite. It's something that they had, I don't even remember what chapter, what season it was, but it was just this giant monster that was just kind of roaming around on the map, and he was passive, except if you hit him, then he would destroy you, right, essentially. It was a really cool thing. It was fun, it was cute, but for whatever reason, it's just kind of stuck in the Fortnite community. So Lego went ahead and made a pretty cool set. It's relatively big. You can see the minifigures compared to it. I mean, they look pretty small compared to it. So for $110, it looks like you're actually getting a pretty cool deal. You're only getting 2 minifigures out of it. The Midas character, or whatever it's called, it's again kind of one of the more rare niche characters, and then a cool Peely variant. So it's a pretty cool set for $110. It's a little bit more of a niche one. I think you have to play Fortnite, have been playing Fortnite for a while to really get this set and like it, but it's still a cool set nonetheless. Whereas the next set I think is a lot more popular and it's going to do very well. Set 77078. It's going to be the Mech Team Leader with 2,503 pieces for $250. Now this is really the first big adult-sized Lego set from Fortnite. This is obviously from, I forget which season this is as well. I think it's like season 4, season 5, or something like that. Season 6 maybe even. Maybe it's even 8 or 9. I can't remember. Chapter 1. So this is a lot more of a nostalgic set. It's obviously the big Mech Team Leader from the big event where he fights the monster on the island. A lot of Fortnite fans love this event. It was very nostalgic, and it comes with obviously a little minifigure of the Mech Team Leader. So a really cool set. I'm interested to see how this one sells, because the Fortnite fans that were part of this era are a little bit older now. Like that was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. So I'm interested to see it. Are they gonna go out and get a $250 set from Fortnite? It's gonna be cool to see. But a really cool set. A lot of these Fortnite sets, I feel like have a lot more heart and soul than, you know, some Lego Star Wars sets, for instance. They really try to make I feel like for the most part, the price is fair. They do a lot of really cool molds, just new molds in general, which we never get for Star Wars anymore. And then the set ideas, I mean, they have a lot to pull from, obviously, but in general, they're still really cool and unique. So I like these Lego Fortnite sets. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And with all of that being said, that's finally it. I'm sure there'll be lots more Lego leaks in the next couple days. There'll probably be a Lego leak the day we drop this video. But as of now, this is what we have for Lego Star Wars, Lego Marvel, Lego Fortnite. No Lego Pokemon. We are going to cover that when that comes out. We're both big Pokemon guys. We both liked it since we were little boys. I'm really excited for that. So when that stuff comes out, we're going to definitely talk about that. So with all of that, we hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe. If you guys are on the podcast, don't forget to hit that follow and download. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.